chat, but can somebody, whoever is in the chat, let me know if you can hear me, and we'll get this started. Yeah, can you let me know if you can hear me? There you go. Okay. Still getting confused with the split screen stuff. There you go. 4 screens set up. I'm gonna bring the second screen on this guy, and we'll have the whole set. So this was the set. I'm just gonna start. Doesn't matter if nobody's here. I'm recording this as well. Hopefully, I'll do a stream recap. So here, do you know what? I think I'm gonna switch to a reel and but we're gonna need something faster. Tempo change. I can actually automate the. It's non-automation parameter only. No, it's somewhere here. Song tempo. So 120 would 130 be too outlandish? It is very hey, Vampire, how are you doing? What? Actually, I think 120 as it is. Well, there's a little tempo shift in there, my side. You hear the Celtic Irish influence? Yeah, that's totally what it is. That's what we're recording tonight. Just plain Irish tunes. Is that or work on the next Grand Theft Audios, which I'm not ready to work on these live because it's mostly painful repetition of other YouTubers talking. I probably need a chord something like that, like shifting, going straight into a 4/4 because we're coming from a 6/8, and mic could be louder. Let me loud up the mic. How's this? Actually, could be louder here too. 1 2 1 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2 2. Okay, this is better. Yeah, that should be better. Not by much, actually. Actually, yeah. The problem is gonna get super loud when I start playing. I had 2 mics and it was just causing too much hassle. Before I sounded like Harrison Ford. Of course, I'm not in tune. How are you doing, Vampire, by the way? Is it weird having a Disneyland right beside you closed? Like, you must have been used to years of just noise and party and whatever. You know, maybe not partying yourself, but just sounds of party and things like that. Is it weird now? I'm gonna tune this. I'm gonna try something. Just bear with me. Actually, I did this mixtape the last time. So we want something so. So, Yeah, but no. Ding, 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 ding. A G minor coming from a D modal, would that work? That could actually work, but see, now it's too loud. A bit more compression maybe. Let me try this. Gonna need a louder click. Oh, that should work. And I don't need the... Oh, I actually thought I had a audio track. You can probably hear the click now coming from the headphones into it. Something like that. Every tons of peaking. Wonder if you could use a slide on it, on this thing, on the Bouzouki. It's been done before. But right now I need a shift in the chord progressions. I'm going to go for sort of a D major back into a D minor. But I need a transition, so we're gonna do and something that picks up the pace from that sort of pattern to something like that. Let's try this. I think I need a few bars of that and then I'm peaking all over the place. Just look at that. Just look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So yeah, I need to lower this input drastically and enable. Power chord, you're absolutely right. 5 everywhere. But then we'll shift to minor chords afterwards. It'll make sense once I. Actually, why am I bothering here? You go here. You go here, and we can re-record on the same track. Just as well I forgot to record. What the fuck? It's speaking all over the place. Sorry about that. Sorry about your ears. Yeah, I need to record the whole thing again. Oh, both of them. Come on. How much do I need to lower this thing? Hey Fiona. Going in the red still. Better. Let's try again. Better. We're gonna re-record the whole thing for this, and then I lose it at the end, and I lose it at the beginning. And I think I'm not in sync with the click track on the first one, so That took a minute. Hey, Doral Mag, how are you doing? Hate playing to click track, put down simple 4 beat, give up too early. It is a habit to take, and it's a useful habit to have, but yeah, it can be off-putting. So these are way too loud already. So we're gonna. Are you kidding me? This one is at minus. Oh, no. Same thing, and we're hard right, hard left, and. Good enough. Copy this track. We're still gonna record on this, so right now I'm just gonna set just a few bars of the same chords just for having something to play the flute over. That's just a placeholder for whatever I'm gonna play afterwards. Actually, I'm hoping that's the right key. Not quite what I wanted. Balls. We just need that. We just need that D or that G. Again, just placeholder. I'm gonna do this. You're in the way, Mike. I can see, and derp and derp. Make that loop. Boom. Backing track. Something like that. could actually use that placeholder as just a drone at the beginning for building the tune. Rough day at work, drone mag. Nice to relax and see this after a while. I don't know if that's relaxing, but it's happening nonetheless. We'll try this. We're gonna do this in part. Hey, are you going to? We'll do this in parts to make it easier. Fiona always makes an appearance. So I'm trying to record the loudest stuff we can arrange afterwards. Yeah, something like that. Maybe if I was ready. And maybe if that wasn't so distracting, have this center. That's what happens when you try to rush things. God damn it! If I remember the tune, it's all right. We'll do it the painful way. Maybe the next time around I'll remember the tune. Okay, there was hardly anything good in that deck. Oh boy. He's already famous. The I don't know what they get with this. Do people actually buy views or followers? Is that a thing people do? Yeah. I still have problem with that phrasing. It feels so hollow to do that. What, to buy followers? Or to record the way I'm recording? 'Cause that's the way people record. No. Where was I? Okay. It's not happening. Yeah. We just need to take a break. Just 2 seconds. Let's breathe. Fuck. It's the simplest things I stumble on now. Shouldn't have to think about it. I think part of the fun is watch me struggle on these. It is a fast tune. To be fair, it is a fast tune, and I should have rehearsed it before. Although I'm, timing wise, I mean. It happens to you too. Yeah, I should have practiced it before. I was editing some stuff, and then I thought I'd continue recording this, but and that's one. We'll play 3 times, so that way I'll have again placeholders. Although it'll be nice to tidy it, isn't it? It'd be nice to have tidy takes at least. Actually, there's not that much wrong here. Just here. Whoop, 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 whoop. One last time, and hopefully we'll have. Again, I'm not trying to get a perfectly clean take. I can work with that. It'd be better if I recorded. Okay, we'll now chord progression with. I kind of like this placeholder actually. What do you think? Because then we can build just a chord progression. I dropped my. No, here it is. It's nothing you could get out of your fingers on the flute. The bass player can go fast, but limited to I can do the D2. Take bass to yeah, bass is tough to play fast. It really is. I can't. I can't. tell you what, before I embarrass myself trying to find a chord progression, let's embarrass myself, play the bar on that fast. Yeah, we're gonna need some drums. We're gonna need far less pop than this. And does it even work sound-wise? Because I haven't set the mic for percussion. Rhythmically it works. You just need to put a limiter on it, and some, just maybe crank the That works-ish. Can we... Something happening at the beginning. Doesn't matter. Ed Horse, how are you doing? We're chatting again. There's something happening. Actually, this guy should go at the end anyway. And this was the first one we recorded, which I preferred. Oh, again. There you are. You know, let's consolidate this whole track so we don't have to do any of that. And how are you doing, Head Horse? And thank you very much for earlier. Yeah, we're a few steps closer to that. I mean, let's take a breather first. I have yet to get the other ones and do something with them. Something like that, something like that, something like that. Actually, I'll deal with colors later on. Oops. Stop looping. Let's do one section at a time here. Exactly because of that. Being a bit louder. It's one of my regret. Actually, I could do this. I take that back. Kind of like that chord though as a second part. Would that work? That could work. Wrong chord. Wrong chord again. That was it. That was it. And then, actually, that whole chord progression we can repeat after. Something like that. Copy and paste. Why are you not working? There you are. Would this work if I just added this for a color? Something like that, would that work? Let's see. have that, and here I have just plain chords. Kind of noodling around, but will not work. We'll try it. Nope, not that. Does that even work? Or is it worse? Kind of works-ish, and it's not strictly necessary, but maybe we... Yo, what? Hey, you. Stop. Why you wouldn't not... Okay, whatever. Because that was in this chord A lot of tidying to do here. Folks, quick questions. Can you hear this? Um, oh yeah, yeah, you can. No, I've lost all monitors again on Streamlabs. It's really weird. I should have rebooted, I suppose. But yeah, can you hear this? Fine. Do you wish you couldn't? Let me know. Okay, we're gonna add a little bit of depth now. Anybody? Rename. No, rename. Can you hear what exactly? Can you hear when I play back? Well, obviously you can hear my voice, which is a good sign. But can you hear when I play back the tune? Okay, good. I've lost all my monitors on Streamlabs again, so I have no idea what's being sent and whatnot. And because I'm streaming my DAW, it's always tricky. This thing doesn't like to play nice. Anyway, you can hear. That's all that matters. Let's rename things. Whistle. Or whistle. Did I have a color code? Yeah, the whistle was green, wasn't it? So we'll keep it somewhat color matched. Bouzouki was blue. We can keep that bluish somewhere. Baron. What was the Baron like? It was like the purplish. Is that it? Yeah. Something like that. Doesn't need to be exact. Okay, banjo, fair enough. What else have we? And what was the bass? Where's my bass? Pink bass. Because why not? We said this was the Baron. Rename. This is the Bouzouki. No, this is not the. Yeah. Center. Bouzouki right. I wish you could double click it. Wouldn't that be handy if you could? But no. Bouzouki left. No, the opposite. Control R maybe? Control R works. Okay. Nope. Okay, we don't need that. Let me just cut the mic for a second. would actually benefit. By tune this to a low D. Simpler the better with Irish music when it comes to having a bass. Otherwise it sounds too boom 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 boom. You want something that just there's too much latency to have the monitor on, so should we have the bass start as soon as the start? Probably here. You know, let's record it flat, all of it, and then we can worry about arrangement. Why is this? Doesn't sound in tune when I play it. Guess it is. Okay, I'm so distracted right now. Sorry. Let's focus, Holly. What were you doing? This here. Whatever. Okay, that's good enough because we're just gonna repeat that. I think what I'll do at the end is I'll go back to that sort of droning chord, fade it out. Let me demonstrate. Let's go back to here, and then we'll take this. I'm just going to. I just want to save, I don't want to destroy what I've done, so I'm just putting. But this here, we are going to just fade it out. I can do that. Let's consolidate this. That way I can fade it slowly over time. Oh yeah, I need to do the same thing here. If that works, it could actually be a very good effect to phase out a tune. But I might do that on the fourth time. I might just let it display 4 times because it's sort of a hypnotic in a way, so it might work out. So just have the harmonics play and just phasing that bass as well, like that. So. But I'll have it panel right and left. So this will actually, you'll probably have 2 tracks. This fades out, and the right and left, not the center, play this kind of stuff and fades up. And then we end on just half of the first part where it just goes. Something like that. Probably doesn't make sense when I explain it, but you'll understand when I do it. I'm not very good at explaining stuff. That's always been a problem. Anyway. Fairly aggressive EQ on the bass, but I just want a colouring. Yeah, I don't want any sort of that mid aggression that is actually really cool in rock bass. I don't want any of that, so I'm actually just being fairly aggressive on the EQ. How's that transition working? Okay, volume wise it's not working, but out of sync. And then we'll play one, yeah, back to the beginning. We'll phase out those chords, back to the beginning, half of that beginning, and end it there, something like that. But I have a lot of tidying and re-recording to do, so that's sort of the bass skeleton. I'll do another session recording. Pete Mouse, how are you doing? How are you doing? It's fluting just about okay. Yeah, lots of mistakes on the flute, but it is a fast tune. And then I'll need to sort out the levels, because as you can hear, very loud, not so loud. Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I actually tidy? Because here it was handy, I was recording on separate tracks, but for the sake of consistency, I probably need to record all of these on this same track. that's exactly what we need to do. So just bear with me. Bass, let's consolidate you for now. By the way, a while ago you were doing some kind of project with Arduino or Raspberry Pi. Yes, it's this guy here. It's my MIDI controller thing. Is it on? Yeah, it's on. This guy. Yeah, it's done. It's done. You can actually see it in the last couple of videos. It's against this screen, like, so I'll have the camera here, and I'm sitting here on the chair just playing, and you can see all the knobs against this screen. It's it's yeah, we were talking about it on Nuts and Bolts. It's because, and he pretty much answered what I thought it was. It's just that pot is sitting between two values, so the CC value keeps shifting by one, you know. But it seems to compound even more when I have a few more. So you think of making some motors you can auto zero. Wow, yeah, that's beyond my available time and current skill anyway. But that sounds really cool, actually. We need the right, left, and center. That's left. That's left. You're going up here, buddy. Come on. Come on. You can do it. And you're going up there. Come on. Come on. Yeah. Really? No, here. You're going here, buddy. Is that really? You're the wrong pink, bass. You're the wrong kind of pink. You're the pink that doesn't know if it's a pink. Yeah. And you're the wrong kind of blue. What's going on here? Oh yeah. No. Which blue are you? There you go. There you go. There you go. Pete Mas, oh, I see. Yeah. Do you know what? No. I actually wouldn't need it. I mean, I don't technically need this either. Like, I have pods here. I have a MIDI controller coming as well. That I'm being sent actually by some company to review. But so I wouldn't need actual physical faders for tracks. I don't work like that. I usually use the software, so I don't quite need them, and I wouldn't have the real estate here at all. I mean, that's it. That's the space I have. So I'm gonna have to be careful with stuff. In fact, I'll probably get rid of the one I made here because I don't quite need it. I'll have to move stuff maybe in front here. It's just it's gonna get tight. It's gonna get tight. But thank you very much. I really appreciate that. It's very kind. Um, I'd be curious to see the project, though. I'd be curious to see it. So here we have just little sync problem. You know, it's not the right and left. You can see here and here. It's not in quite in sync. You know, I come back here, but then I miss it here. It is an unrehearsed impromptu stuff. Like I all made this on the spot, you know. So I didn't rehearse this tune. I should have because it took a minute and a half to record it. But for something that I just decided to stream as soon as I click the button, go live, it's not bad. So I have a bit of tidying, some re-recording in the bouzouki session, at least here and here. Some parts of the flute are a bit dodgy, so I need to re-record that. Other than that, we're not too bad. And then I'll probably arrange that. So we'll do that next time. Probably bring some of those again accordions in. It's not an accordion, but we Actually, what happens if we take this? I can do this. Let's just want to see what it would sound like. Let's detune this guy as well because no, actually we don't need to. It does sound cool though. So it's the wrong key, obviously, but I. We need a. It's a major chord. That's why it doesn't work. The droning does work, actually. You know what I mean? You know. Is it a major chord or did I just do? Yeah. What about piano? Atomic Blonde, how are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, that's not gonna work. Everything is detuned by that much, because initially when I started the recording I didn't tune the whistle and it was slightly out of tune, so I had to detune stuff that's fixed, like the keyboard, and like the accordion by whatever 0.23 semitones. So if I keep that and I play the piano is perfectly in tune, but it should work. Let's just see. You can also just retune the whistle in software, less hassle. Yes and no, it would be easier, but I would hear it because it's the main tune. It's easier to detune stuff that's sort of in the background. So like this, that's detuned, but it's sort of in the background. You don't necessarily hear it too much. It's just accompaniment stuff. But working your master detune on a lead instrument, it's risky and it can fail, and or it can lead to like failing at some point. Like you'll hear it, and if it does, that's the only thing you hear afterwards. So it's I know it's safer, it's easier because you don't need to detune the instruments that are fixed like that, but it's actually easier to detune the fixed accompaniment instruments, or it's better to detune them because they're in the background. They're just texturing and the harmonic stuff, as opposed to doing that to the lead. It's recipe for disaster. I've been there. Especially on acoustic stuff, you know, if it's synth, of course, go ahead. But on acoustic stuff, it's a bit too risky. Would that work? Is that even worth exploring? Maybe not. It's gonna sound what we technically refer to as shite. Do you know? I think that's plenty for one session. There's all sort of stuff. So I'm going to also add. Probably have a second flute, like a low. Oh no, because that's a B minor. So I need to be. I need an F low whistle without. I need to change the fingering, but. So I need to learn it in that key. I'm not going to do that live tonight because it's late already and I think Fiona's trying to go to bed. But there you go. Will I replay the entire thing? And we'll see. That transition isn't quite where I want it to be between those two tunes. Levels aren't there. You know, there's a lot of tidying I need to do. That's a weird transition. Probably need a Baron playing first, and then like yeah, something like that, and then let me shift everything here by probably something a bit more dynamic than that, and then it can start here. But oh, I hate zooming in the software. Ableton. It zooms wherever your mouse is and not where the cursor is, which is very confusing and not practical. Yes, something like that. So I'll put that as a skeleton, but we'll have like a triplet, and then maybe a chord, and then those chords can come in. back and just listen halfway here. Yeah. So a few bars here. This is just the skeleton right now. We're just drafting stuff. Abrupt cut, chord starting, transition chords, and into the tune. So it goes from a major progression to a minor. Can cut all of these. Because we know. Yeah. Maybe a drone. Accordion drone. Here I have that accordion drone that just something like that. Anyway, that's good. Excuse me. So the idea is we'll fade these out like this, and then something like that. So as we fade stuff out, actually, and we can copy this. And fade this out as well, just slightly. So I'll re-record obviously that last part just to have the skeleton. And this will need to be much louder and pan right and left. Something like that. So yeah, there's a flute will need to be a lot to be re-recorded because there's a lot of MPS, which is mistakes per second. It's a fast tune, so I didn't rehearse it before, so yeah. Oh, your wife plays the flute. Oh, cool. She'll enjoy the tin whistle or the low whistle in that case. Main tune loop somewhere. No, well, I played it 3 times, so it's 3 different times, but I did make mistakes, a lot of mistakes, so I had to re-record over, like overdub and that kind of stuff. But the breathing is not, no, the breathing, you just learn to breathe. You can hear me breathe. You can hear my foot as well. Stuff like that. Ideally, you sort of you try to minimize. You don't delete it altogether, but just There's another big breath here. But the breathing, it's like everything. You learn to become efficient with your breathing, so it's I know flute players who smoke like troopers and they can still play the flute like madmen. It's just a breath efficiency and expending the minimum amount of breath and taking the maximum when you can. Yeah, I think that's it. You've seen it. Yeah, the breathing through your nose and blowing with the mouth. It's the didgeridoo circular breathing technique. I've seen some people try it on with the flute. With very it's a gimmick, honestly, for flute playing, or at least for Irish flute playing. The problem is you need to fill your mouth as well and expand that little amount of like pocket you have while you take air with your nose. So it's like something like that. So you do that with the didgeridoo, and you have that because you pinch your lips as well for the didgeridoo. You can do that. For the flute, it's a different technique. Your mouth is open all the time. It's just it's too tricky. Some people manage it for the silver flute because your lips are, what's the word for it? Pinched, pursed, whatever. But yeah, it's you lose a lot of control when you do that. And I think hearing the breath is actually, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it just it says I just, but there's a human. It's like hearing the string slide on the guitar. There's something natural and organic about it, you know. That it's some people try to get rid of it. I think it's a good idea to try and keep it. It just creates some. It just reminds people there's somebody at the end of that instrument. Plays the silver flute as well. Yeah, that's. I don't have a silver flute. I have an Irish flute, which is sort of the same breathing technique as a silver flute, but it's tuned in. There's a few keys. The silver flute has a more complex tuning, and requires a bit more practice to get. Here, it's the same as a tin whistle, and you blow harder to get the octave. And actually, I think so. You do the same stuff in the silver flute, but there's not as many keys. It's not as versatile, but there's a lovely, lovely, again, natural sort of breath you get with this. And here, so I'll put that here for now. So I think, folks, that's it. I've been saying that for a while. Without the breathing sounds too much editing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, trumpetist can use that as well, just because of just the natural way your lips are and your mouth isn't open constantly. Like with this, your mouth is open all the time, so you can't actually fill your cheeks with air to release when you need it. So that option is not there. And with this, well, it depends what type of stuff you're playing, but it would work probably with slow tunes. But then if it's slow, you have time to breathe, so it's not so much a concern. Anyway, folks, between this and today's banjo radio, I know the banjo radio doesn't count, but at least not, I just stick it on and stay in the chat. And I do feel guilty about it sometimes because it's just it's the easy way to stream, I suppose. But I guess people enjoy it and they enjoy the music in the background. That's really what it's for. But I need to find the time to do more of these. I'll continue. Maybe I think when I get the instruments, we get the chimes and the didgeridoo. We'll definitely use the chimes for this. In that transition between the two tunes, and we'll see if we can fit the didgeridoo. Maybe have a drone, a very low drone in the background for that last tune. That could actually be interesting. Might not work, but we'll see. I'll add some accordion drones as well and flesh it out. Tidy up the bouzouki playing at the beginning, so it's the two channels are in sync together. Tidy the mistakes on the flute, and find a proper ending for this. Redo all these sections here. Use the didgeridoo. That's a gurney. Really wanted to see the didgeridoo. I was hoping it would arrive today, actually, possibly tomorrow or the day after. I got an email, they've sent it like the same evening. They're very fast, so fingers crossed. Anyway, folks, thank you very much once again. Ed Horse, if you're still in the chat, thank you very much for the tip earlier. Very much appreciated. Again, I didn't think we'd get one goal and we got two, and we're on, there's a third on the way. So yeah, really, really cool. So thank you very much. Next cover is coming tomorrow. If you're on Patreon, you would have seen it already. And enjoy that. I'll probably be streaming again tomorrow, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good night.